Yeah, we're gonna. I was gonna use it. Oh, I mean, I have to fill it. That's why. Okay.
Much needed.
Yeah. People are done.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Oh, man.
Including me.
Yeah. So for you, like, so we have to do 100 and 200. I imagine you probably have to do more than that, or no?
I attend a lot of training. Yeah. I attend everything that I can.
Yeah.
Anything that I see out there that can help me.
Yeah. My goodness.
At least a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Different stuff. Sometimes the same thing. Just to hear it from a different person.
Yeah.
This one? This is both on item number 11. This is on the consultant, Onyx. No, sequel, I'm sorry. It's these, we're gonna try to make an exception and have them, do their public comment during the, regular agenda item. So see how this one, if
All right, let's get started. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Want to get this meeting started. Appreciate having a full house here. I'd like to open up our special meeting. Mr. City Manager, is there any changes to the agenda?
No, not on the special.
Okay. I would say roll call, please. Sorry.
Council members Garcia,
Here.
Laura,
Here.
Lutz,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez,
here,
Mayor Camacho,
Here.
all present.
Great. So we're in a special meeting. We have any public comments that we have for a special meeting, right?
There was none.
Okay. And so item regular agenda, resolution rescinding resolution number 6827 and updating the July and August 2026 city council meeting schedule. City manager? Any on that item? No,
The resolution.
so can I entertain a motion?
I'll move.
I got a first. Is there a second? I'll second. Roll call vote, please.
Council members
Sorry,
Garcia.
point of clarification, is this just the reordering of the agenda?
No, this item is to rescind previous resolution going dark in July, and then we're actually going to start going dark in August. So,
Mr. Mayor, yeah, this is, well, the special agenda,
Special agenda.
right, so have we moved and seconded that item
Yes.
They moved and seconded, yes.
on the special agenda?
On the special agenda.
So, yes, and the purpose for that, Mr. Mayor, is so that we can then have the regular meeting right after this item gets
Yeah,
approved.
so basically, so you understand what we're doing here, we normally don't have a meeting in July. The last second in July, we are having this meeting, but because we had a resolution that we didn't have a meeting, we have to rescind that resolution to then continue with the regular meeting. So that's why it's a little weird agenda this time around.
Just a technical issue because of the attorney.
So it's your fault then. No, agreed. Roll call vote, please.
We have a first by Councilmember Garcia and a second by Mayor Camacho. Council members Garcia,
yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mayor Camacho.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you. Now we're gonna adjourn that regular agenda, or special meeting, I should say. And so now we get into the regular council meeting. We don't, I'm gonna start all over again, basically. And I'm gonna ask the city manager if there is any changes to the agenda.
Yes, Mayor, there are some changes. We're removing item number 11 from consent to the regular agenda,
Okay.
and we're also pulling item number 12 from the agenda for a future meeting.
Okay. With that, I'd like to get roll call vote, please.
Council members Commissioners Garcia,
Yes.
Laura, Lutz,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Vice President Dr. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mayor President Camacho.
Yes.
All present.
Here. Okay, we got a roll call invocation. I'd like to ask Councilmember Garcia to lead us in invocation.
You could please stand. We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for our community. and our fellow citizens. We ask these favors in your name. Amen.
Amen. And we have our sister city commissioner, Mr. Bob Perez, that's going to lead us in the flag salute. Place your right hand over your heart.
I
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Perez. With that, I'd like to acknowledge our commissioners with us today. We have our planning commissioner, Justin Smith. Thank you for being here. And our sister city commissioner, Bob Perez. Thank you for both of you for being here and for the work that you both do. And then we do have some special presentations. That's why we have these beautiful people in the room here and wanted to be recognized. We're going to start off with, we have two groups. And we're going to start off by giving for a certificate presentation to our Pico Rivera fast pitch 8U Silver All-Star team. On behalf of the City of Pico Rivera City Council, it is my pleasure to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of the Pico Rivera fast pitch or 8U Silver All-Star team. This talented group of 13 young athletes, led by manager Yolanda Ramirez and coaches Alex Ramirez, Steven De La Torre, Roger Palomino, and Chris Vargas, demonstrated incredible dedication, teamwork, and perseverance throughout an unforgettable 11-week All-Star season. Their accomplishments are truly impressive. They captured the La Mirada All-Star Tournament champion, won the LA South Bay District Championship, finished as state finalists, placing second out of 32 teams at the USA Softball Southern California C-State Championship, and concluded their remarkable season by placing third out of 28 teams at the Pacific Coast Regional Championship against teams from California, Arizona, Nevada, and Hawaii. Beyond the wins and trophies, these young athletes represented the city of Pico Rivera with pride, sportsmanship, and determination. They have made our community proud and served as wonderful role models for other young athletes to come. Congratulations to each of the players, the coaching staff, and the families who support made this incredible season possible. On behalf of the City Council and our entire community, thank you for representing Pico Rivera so well, and we wish you continued success in years ahead. At this time, I'd like to invite all of you to come up here to receive your certificates and also congratulate you as well. Let's give them a big round of applause. About all the accomplishments. Is this working? Hello, hello? No? Okay. Aside from all the, I was reading all the accomplishments, I'm like, good job. Good to see you, man. Look at all this. This is a long list of accomplishments.
Good job, girls.
Good job.
Yes, this is good right here, right in the center. Yeah, it's actually on that lean. Good job. Then we can have
You got to show off those rings, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get this.
Yeah.
You guys want to show off your rings, girls?
Show your rings and then hold your medal in your other hand.
There you go.
Show your medal in your other hand.
This way.
I mean, hold your medal. Hold your medal.
All right, congratulations. Let's get out the way. This is the real picture, right? The other one we throw away. Now you know why this is a real picture. Let's give him another big round of applause. I like to. I like to ask. Has this been working? Is it working? Yeah. Okay. I'd like to give the coach an opportunity to say a few words.
On behalf of Pico Fast Pitch, we would like to thank the city of Pico Rivera for having us today. So thank you very much. Um, these girls, I have to tell you, when us coaches were given an opportunity to have a team and give these girls the opportunity, these girls absolutely took that opportunity and exceeded beyond what people probably expected. Um, come right out the bat, win a championship, their hard work continuously, the 11 weeks, um, through the heat, through the little injuries, having a concussion our first tournament, you know, and these girls, they did so well together, on and off the field, through sisterhood. They stood playing, grinding, the determination, the grit, you know, and I'm really excited to see where these girls go. Some of us move up, some of us stay down, but no matter what, the heart that these girls have shown um, makes us so proud. I know as a coaching staff, thank you to all the coaching staff, to our amazing team mom, Jen Palomino. This couldn't have been done without her. So again, City of Pico, thank you so much for everything. We really appreciate the sponsorships, the donations to help make this a memorable all-star season for these girls. So thank you very much.
Thank you for those words. Congratulations, ladies. I mean, this is just the beginning. There's more. There's more trophies and more rings to come, right? Yeah, because we're gonna see you here pretty soon again. I love it. You guys want to?
I also want to acknowledge the board president, Mr. David Soto. Thank you for your leadership and everything. If you could please stand and get a round of applause from us. Thank you. To the parents, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money to go to all these tournaments. But it bears fruit when they're so successful. And just the legacy that takes place there at Pico Fast Pitch is because of the volunteers from the board, from all the coaches, and then from the caliber of kids that we have. If I'm not mistaken, the 8U registration filled up on the first day that it was open, right? So on the first day that they opened up for registration for 8U, it was already filled. Now they got kids on the wait list. So it just speaks to the caliber and what's taking place there. We definitely want to partner more with the board. I think the plan is, right, Director Ugar, I think is we're going to meet with the board, hopefully have some pizza, talk about scheduling, talk about downtime, talk about how we could make sure that districts is something that we just do here in the city of Pico Rivera at our parks. And then, yes, yes. Okay, so thank you. So, and thank you for everything you've done. Yeah.
Well, let's give him a big. Hold on. I want to check my colleague here.
Thank you. Congratulations, ladies. We do have certificates for each of you, and we started making this, before we used to only give one certificate for the whole team, but I said, no, wait a minute. When you're applying for scholarships to go to college and jobs, anything, you keep these certificates to show that these accomplishments that you have. So keep collecting them and save them and use those for your future. And we wish you the best in your future. And congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, coaches. know, where's the captain? Who's the captain of the team? Who's the captain of the team? We're gonna put both of them on the spot to say a couple of things. There you go. Come on, yeah. Yeah, both of you, both of you. There you go. Hey, we're gonna all start giggling.
I got this. Ready? Thank you, parent. You say the first. Thank you, parents, and for everything you do for us. Thank you so much for Scott, come on, bro. Thank you so much for driving us to all of our practices, taking us to all of our games. Thank you so much, and for what you do. Um, I'm lucky to be in the All Star team this season, and it was the best All Star season I ever had this season. Thank you, Scott. Your turn. Coaches.
All right. Thank you. Let's give another round of applause. You see, I love it. We get shy up here too. So, thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. You guys can come out that way. Thank you.
Go.
Good job. Keep up the good work.
Okay, we have another group that we're going to recognize.
That's why I don't know how people do travel. I really don't. I really don't. Take care, Jen. How they do that year round.
Hey, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
They just consistently
Don't have talent. Exactly. And you want to see my thing is when they come up, if these girls would have stayed together at a rancho, oh my gosh. But they go to St. Paul, they go here, they get poached, they get pulled.
yeah. And they had another all-star team that they sent. I think
Yeah.
that was so they had a gold team.
Yeah.
And they reached high. They
Yeah.
didn't get as high.
That
but
was Ray, my buddy Ray's daughter, Castile.
But we need to work on the communication between the board, us.
So what at that point?
It starts at those board meetings. They meet quarterly. That's when we get address issues. Now then we set up that. I think there's something with Pico Fast. Thank you. Pico Fast. Belts now. Yeah, so they got the belt. So that's the giant ring. Huh? The belts.
All right. Do we have everyone in here? Great, great. Well, up until right now, I was explaining that they give out belts. I thought it was wrestling baseball or something. But I love it. I actually, I want one of those. All right. Good evening, everyone. Once again, now we're recognizing our Hitman Baseball Travel Team 10U. It is my pleasure to recognize the Hitman Baseball Travel Team 10U for an outstanding season and for proudly representing the city of Pico Rivera. Since the team was established in August of 2025, these young athletes have demonstrated exceptional talent, determination, and teamwork. They made an immediate impact by winning their very first tournament and have continued their success by capturing 3 USSSA tournament championships, earning a second place finish in another, winning a perfect game tournament in Las Vegas, and most recently bringing home the USSSA World Series championship belts. Beyond the trophies and championships, what stands out most is your resilience. You prove that hard work, dedication, and believing in yourselves can overcome any doubts or challenges. You have represented Pico Rivera with professionalism, sportsmanship, and pride every step of the way. On behalf of the City of Pico Rivera City Council, congratulations to the players, coaches, families, and supporters for this very incredible achievement. We are proud of everything you have accomplished, and look forward to seeing your continued success, not only on the field, but on school as well. At this time, I'd like to invite the Hitman Baseball Travel Team 10U to please step forward to the dais to receive your certificate. Let's give them a big round of applause. Here and join us up. And while you're coming up, I'm going to choose the captain or one of you to say a few words, all right? So join us up here, all those, the coaches as well, please.
You guys are going to go up against the desk and introduce the team. Let's move over here to the left. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Congratulations, Carl. Appreciate you, huh?
You want to unstrap it?
See, how do I?
You're done.
All right, I got my belt. I love it. They didn't make it big enough for me. See, I got to go work out with you guys now. The panza's a little too big for me. All righty. Good deal. Thank you. All right, let's take this. You want to put yours over your shoulder? Everyone else has theirs on your shoulder, unless you want to wear it around your waist. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there we go. There you go. All right. Ready, guys? Look up here. Look. Maybe more room. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Just no hands. Ready? Unless you're all doing a no. Side. Or number 1. How about number 1? No? Okay. Hands. 1, 2, 3.
Why are you laughing?
Both. 1, 2, 3. Now there's 1, 2, you got team. Do the coaches. Right? Yeah. And the coaches.
Stop laughing.
All right. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Another round of applause. I'd like to, before you guys leave, I'd love to ask the coach to say a few words. About the season, about the team, everything.
He's the main one.
I'm going to ask the kids after. I hope they don't do better than us.
No, it's on. Or, no, I just want to say thank you for the invitation to having our team here. I just want to say, these kids have been working hard all year, and I'm very proud of them. A lot of where we were, they didn't believe on some of the kids, some of the coaches that were here, and we proved people wrong. And these kids have a lot of talent, I could tell you that. And yeah, they're basically kind of like representing the city of Pico, and they're getting out there, and we're just gonna work harder, and hopefully it's not the last time we're here. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. It definitely, it's not going to be the last time, right? You guys are going to be back, right? Exactly. And as we're saying, the commitment, the passion, the what you guys put into it creates the championship. So you got to put in the effort, right? And it goes for anyone, whether it's you, whether it's us, whether it's staff and everybody. You put in the effort, you put in the commitment, you become a leader and you become champions. But you got to put in the effort, and you guys have. So congratulations again. Thank you. Now, who's the captain of the team? Okay. Could you say a few words?
Come on, Mom. Come on, Mom.
Thank you, parents, for coming to all the games and supporting us. And thank you for all the coaches that you guys have done.
Go for it. Go ahead.
Fine.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Fine, no.
No, I'm not talking. I'm not. No.
You all right? Anybody else?
Elijah would talk. Elijah's always talking.
Elijah. Oh, wait. You were looking at me, so I'm like, Elijah. No? All right. Let's give him another round of applause. Congratulations. Thank you. We'll see you guys over here soon, all right? All right.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Chris Starr.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This thing's heavy. Right, we should. You gave us an idea. We're going to get our blue version. There you go.
All right, that concludes our presentations.
Is that it, Chief?
Yeah, thank you. So we are thankful for all these young men and women who recognize today for making our city proud and representing our city well. With that, finishing our presentations, we'll get into our first item in public hearing. Item number 1, which is a general plan amendment, number 66, update to the general plan safety element and ordinance to amend Title II, Administration and Personnel, Chapter 2.52, Emergency Preparedness of the Pico Rivera Municipal Code. I'd like to open up this public hearing. City Manager, any memos?
Yes, Mayor, I'm going to turn it over to Alvy Bendencourt. We do have a presentation.
Thank you, City Manager. Honorable Council, in late 2024, the Planning Division embarked on a phased program to update several critical emergency preparedness policy documents. The Local Hazard Mitigation Plan, the Emergency Operations Plan, and the General Plan Safety Element. Since the launch of this effort, the City Council has approved, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, the local hazard mitigation plan as of October 2025. This report and this presentation this evening covers the next phase of these emergency preparedness efforts, focusing on updates of the general plan safety element and the emergency operations plan. The proposed update ensures that the safety element remains current, internally consistent with other general plan elements, and reflects current best practices in hazard mitigation and climate resilience planning. With that, I'd like to introduce Aaron Fannenstiel, founding principal of Atlas Planning Solution, who has worked closely with staff to accomplish these tasks.
Yep. There we go. Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name is Aaron Fannenstiel. We'll briefly walk you through the general plan safety element update and the emergency operations plan update tonight. I'll be partnered up with Hector, who's going to finish off the presentation. The last update to the general plan was in 2014. In that plan, you have the 7 required elements that you see on the screen. We're just focusing on the safety element for tonight, mainly because it's become a focus by the California legislature that requires more frequent updates than many of the other elements. It is a mandatory chapter, and it's really intended to help the city address safety needs and the needs of the community and protect them from the hazards that you're most concerned about. And again, this element really is providing a series of tools for planning staff to help ensuring that the safety of the community is preserved. The safety element typically includes a number of topics that you see on the screen. Not all of these apply to Pico Rivera, so we are only going to address the ones that are most relevant and pressing for the community. And when we talk about things like geologic and seismic hazards for Pico Rivera, the biggest one we're concerned about is seismic shaking. You're very close to a number of active earthquake faults, so we want to make sure we understand just how much shaking you could expect and how we should try to address that concern at the planning level. The next major topic is flooding. And of course, you have some rivers and a large flood management piece of infrastructure upstream of your community. So how you address that and how you're protecting the community associated with that, this safety element is trying to assist the city staff with. And then finally, wildfire. Again, these are the big 3, earthquakes, floods, and fires. Thankfully, wildfire is not a concern or an identified hazard within the city, but we know it's very close. So we wanted to make sure you had some goals, policies, actions to help address wildfire at the community level. And this is, again, one of the main reasons why the safety elements before you tonight, in contrast to other elements. The legislature has identified a number of updates, as you can see on the screen. Extreme heat is one of the newest ones. This goes into effect in 2028, but since 2014, wildfire hazards, climate adaptation, evacuation, and a trigger that when you update your housing element, you update the safety element. These are all pieces of legislation that essentially are driving a lot of the updates to safety elements throughout the state. Your element addresses a variety of topics. The structure is presented in front of you. We focused on emergency preparedness, which deals with evacuation, seismic and geologic hazards, flood and fire hazards, human cause hazards. This is not required, but it's something that we knew was important based on community feedback during the local hazard mitigation plan update, and then climate change adaptation, which is again a required component. When it comes to some of these specific hazards, again, the fire hazard piece is not a requirement, but we did want to make sure you had some goals, policies, actions that helped focus on things like vegetation management and brush clearance, fire equipment access and resources, and adequate water supply and infrastructure. When it comes to climate change or climate adaptation, we recognize that the main hazards of concern are things like extreme heat, drought, and then flooding associated with intense storms. And we also recognize that things like critical facilities and infrastructure, persons that are experiencing homelessness, and chronically ill individuals are some of the vulnerable populations that may be disproportionately impacted by these types of events. And then finally, we did an analysis identifying all of the areas that are considered to have a single ingress egress condition. So these would be one way in out locations within the city. So it could be a cul-de-sac, it could be a community that had one roadway that was put in when it was originally subdivided. And this information is really important for use during evacuation incidents. So by having this data and information, our hope is that it can help police, fire staff, and personnel, as well as city personnel, understand where are some of the areas that you might want to call evacuation sooner because they may have a constraint like a single egress condition. And then the emergency operations plan was another component to this project. Again, it's a completely separate document, but this is really the kind of playbook of how the city functions and the types of roles and responsibilities the city undertakes during an emergency situation. It's going to establish protocols for communication, resource management, and this can also cover all of the hazards of concern. So you may find that there are hazards in the emergency operations plan that may not be covered in the safety element. That's on purpose because the emergency operations plan is going to be looking at how do we actually respond to things that we are concerned about, whereas the safety element is looking at kind of forward-thinking policy. So the basic structure of the plan is we have what's called a basic plan that's been presented to you tonight. In addition to that, there are a number of other documents that support the emergency operations plan. These documents are typically housed outside of the basic plan to make it a lot easier for staff to do updates more frequently and to address emerging issues and situations that may have not been addressed when you initially start out on the project. And then finally, they're used mainly to address the requirements under the California Emergency Services Act. This is essentially the state's legislation that was created to make sure that all cities can be prepared for emergencies. The state created the Standardized Emergency Management System. So this is the state's version of how we talk amongst jurisdictions. And it's really about how are we coordinating with local, county, and state agencies with regard to response, supporting mutual aid and resource sharing, and how you activate your emergency operations center, which is the key location where all that activity will occur. I think with that, I'm going to pass it off to Hector, and he'll finish out the presentation.
Thank you, Aaron. Good evening, Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Hector Hernandez, Senior Planner with the City of Pico Rivera. While updating the local hazard mitigation plan, the general plan safety element, and the emergency operations plan, staff determined that the city's emergency preparedness provisions in the municipal code also required revision to maintain consistency with the updated EOP and to ensure compliance with applicable state laws. Chapter 2.52 of the Municipal Code is the emergency preparedness section that defines the roles, responsibilities, and chain of command required to protect public safety, property, and the environment should a disaster occur. By codifying certain emergency functions, city staff can mobilize, deploy resources, and safeguard residents with minimal delay. What is in this chapter? This chapter of the Municipal Code establishes a disaster council membership consisting of an EOC director, an assistant EOC director, and EOC section chiefs. There are 5 EOC section chiefs. It also establishes the powers and duties of the disaster council, which includes contract agreements and the preparation of resolutions and ordinances related to emergency management. Also requires the EOC to have an organizational command structure that clearly identifies each staff member's role in the EOC. It provides authority to the EOC director to proclaim an emergency should this ever become necessary. And lastly, this chapter of the Municipal Code ensures compliance with state law. So shown here are a few revisions that were made to Chapter 2.5 of the code, again designating the city manager and assistant city manager as chair and vice chair of the disaster council, clarifying the disasters council's powers and duties, requiring them to ensure that we have command structure and ensuring all EOC staff members are organized and trained in procedures. And also, we needed to update some of the terminology and organizational references to ensure that we are consistent with the other policy documents that we just discussed, in particular, the Emergency Operations Plan. So what's coming up next with the emergency preparedness? Currently, EOC staff is taking the ICS 100 and 200. This is an online FEMA course to give EOC staff members a baseline understanding of the incident command system, just a baseline understanding. This is going to be followed by in-person EOC training. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the EOC. Each EOC team member will be trained in their section's responsibility and the seat that they fill in the EOC. This will be followed by a functional exercise that may have something to do with inclement weather. What we are finalizing the preparations for the EOC training and the functional exercise. The exercise will be followed by a written after-action report. We're looking to hire a consultant that's a subject matter expert in EOC training and also facilitating a functional exercise. This person will also provide a written after-action report identifying what we did well, where we can stand some improvement, and then also lastly here, what we should do for sustainment training after this EOC training. So that's very important as well because it doesn't just end with our EOC training. And this is looking at occurring here before the end of the summer. So coming up very soon. Staff's recommendation this evening is to approve the resolution to update the general plan safety element and the emergency operations plan, and also to approve the ordinance to amend Title II, Administration and Personnel, Chapter 2.52, Emergency Preparedness, which is the section I just spoke about, and find that both resolutions and ordinance are exempt from the provisions of CEQA. Are there any questions? This concludes my presentation.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the update. I think this is very relevant and a good update. I think, being prepared is about preparedness, and we just don't know what type of disasters might occur. And so this is definitely, I know we've all attended emergency preparedness courses and gone through conferences on it. And so I think it's very too good to see it. I mean, an EOC has no real true outcome if we don't have a good plan, right? And a plan that is practice. And so I'm glad that we're having this update. With that, I'd like to just go and say, open up to any questions or comments.
Mayor, if I may,
Councilman Garcia.
I think you answered it. You said the end of the summer, so is that the end of August, or when are we looking for the training next?
Right now, I would say the EOC training should take place. Tentatively, we're looking at either the first or second week of September, actually. Okay. Somewhere right around there.
Councilman Lara.
No, thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you for all the hard work that you've put into this project. It's been years in the making. I'm happy to hear that we're going to do a simulation like this. Mm-hmm. My question is, within, I guess, our guidelines, how often will we do this? Every 3 years, every 5 years? I just want to make sure that the staff that we have now is trained and aware of their roles and responsibilities, and we'll do that at the end of the summer with the simulation. But people leave, people move on, and I just want to make sure that at least we have some continuity of knowledge in terms of how to function. So I'm not sure if this is something we build in, that we do this every 5 years. We hold a simulation so that people know their roles. Thank you.
Yes, it's a very good question. And as far as, and that's what we're looking for, recommendations from the consultant that we're looking at hire that's going to train us in the EOC procedures and how to go about that should a disaster occur. At the end of all of our training, included in that after action report will be the consultant's recommendation as to how often we should do this. A few staff members and I, we had a conversation and we differed in our opinion. So that we came to the conclusion, okay, let's just talk to the consultant and see what's realistic. Is it once a quarter? Is it once a year? What is realistic? As you mentioned, personnel change. But we do want to have, we don't want this EOC training to be the end of it. So we want to continue with this, whether that be once a year, twice a year, or what have you. And we look to the consultant to advise us on that.
Councilmember, if I may, the EOP gives us a framework. That framework will outlast, anyone who comes and goes over the next 5 to 10 years. However, that framework will inform those who are in leadership roles how the EOC will be built out, how it will be implemented, how it will be activated. The EOC is a standalone project which we will embark on. With respect to training, we've already made contact with a consultant who has offered us a variety of menu options. We're taking the most comprehensive approach for the staff, and it will be backfilled and redundant, such that once this is done, the safety element will last for another decade, and the EOP will, as I said, create a framework that informs the EOC. The EOC has been funded for several years now. It's a matter of simply executing it over the next 12 to 24 months.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, my question for you is, where is our center, so to speak, our EOC center? Do we have one, or?
Yes, we have two. We have a primary and an alternate. The primary is right over here at the Parks and Recreation down the street in the community room. There's a room back in there where we have all of our equipment, our boxes, our tables. So when if necessary, we can break out that equipment and set up the EOC. And the alternate is at the city yard.
Thank you.
Yes.
Secondly, I was on a few years ago, we formulated a joint city and school district ad hoc team, and we had a conversation regarding emergency preparedness. So, a few years ago, there was an active shooter type scenarios. A few years ago, we also had a train that was derailed that had dangerous chemicals, and the school board president we weren't really aware of our EOC on the school district side as well as the city side. My question is, does this involve any of the other educational partners like Rio Hondo and El Rancho and Montebello Unified Districts?
To an extent, the city's EOC and our EOP is standalone. However, there is the school district, as you mentioned. So they also have their emergency procedures. They're required to have an emergency operation plan and their own emergency procedures, their EOC, et cetera. We know who they are. They know who we are. We have been in contact with them over the last couple of years. And there may come a point where we need to communicate, work together in order to resolve something. So yes, we have been in communication with them, but not just the school district, some other agencies as well. The Pico Rivera Gardens, they have an EOP as well. So a lot of these healthcare centers where there's people staying there, they're required by the state to have an emergency operation plan.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very well.
Yeah.
Councilmember?
Yes, thank you for that presentation. So if we did have, God forbid, a situation where we have to go ahead and man an EOC and the electricity goes out, how long do we have generators working for?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that right now. That's something that I think will flesh itself out when we have this EOC training. There's questions that are going to be brought up, like such as that we need to have answers to, and things like that. Those are possible revisions that we may need to make. I fully anticipate to make revisions to the EOP following this training. But we do have a generator. We do have operators that know how to use it, but I don't know exactly how long it will be. It can be operational for.
So that generator, as long as you fuel it, it continues?
Yes.
Okay, so theoretically, as long as you keep putting fuel, and if you have a 2-day situation, the generator will keep going?
Yes, assuming we have access to fuel and, there's nothing restraining us from that access. Yes, it'll keep going.
And I would just make a recommendation for the EOP that the school district and the city actually make an effort where they both have point of contact individuals that overlap with each other and share information so that on a day of an emergency, it's not, hi, nice to meet you for the first time. It's, yes, we trained together, and now let's go ahead and do what we need to do to resolve this emergency for the entire community. I think Mayor Pro Tem brought up a good point that if the training is not overlapping, that now we should implement that in an upcoming training.
Yes, and actually, I have thought about that. There are certain, there's some certain people that I want to invite. The fire department, they have a seat in our EOC, as well as the sheriffs, they have a seat as well. I want to invite someone from the school district, and I want to consult with my director and deputy director as to who we feel we should invite to our EOC, and give them a seat.
Thank you. That concludes my recommendations.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I want to thank the Mayor Pro Tem for bringing that up, just about involving the school district, because it's important that they're at least in the room.
So, yeah.
And then please let us know if you have a difficult time getting like the fire captain or whoever to attend.
And as a matter of fact, when we went through the process, invitations were extended to a number of adjoining agencies, the school district, fire. Keep in mind that emergency situations are a layered approach. If there were a mass, or rather a disaster at a great level, the county obviously would take the lead. Thereafter, every municipality ideally has their own EOP, EOC. There is overlap, there is a redundancy, there is interagency communication, and we do make an effort. There are best practices that we execute. It's not a matter of it's a great idea or if, it's a matter of how will this EOP be executed? What are the best practices for this community? How do we position ourselves to be in the safest position possible for any number of threats, be it man-made or nature? But at a very high level, the county will always take the lead. Fire and police services will take the lead, but cities must, speak to their own, climate, their own terrain, their own community, how it's built out. And when you see that, the EOP and how we build out the EOC, it will reflect the needs of this community.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the presentation. And I'm gonna go ahead and close this public hearing. And so like to entertain a motion.
I'll second.
First, in a second, roll call vote, please.
Council members Garcia?
Yes.
Lara?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mayor Camacho?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great. Thank you. Which leads us into our public comments. We have 2 public comments. Any other comments, City Clerk?
There were no others.
Thank you. We have Victor Gonzalez regarding tree maintenance, item number 9. I do not see Victor here. And so Lauren Talbot, library updates.
Yes, Victor.
Oh, I apologize.
There's another one.
There's another Victor
I know.
Gonzalez, and so
I'm the Victor Gonzalez.
for the same subject.
Yeah. No. Thank you. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, city
Welcome,
staff.
Victor.
My name is Victor Gonzalez, and I serve as the Vice President of West Coast Arborists. I've been with the company for 27 years. And tonight I come before you not only as a representative of WCA, but also as a proud member of the community and someone that calls Pico Rivera home. I was born and raised here, Pico Rivera, lived here for the first 23 years of my life. My family still has a home where I grew up in. I attended St. Hilary's, spent countless hours playing for Pico Boys, and yeah, it's a place where I have property in the city, and it's a place I truly am. I call home. The contract before you this evening is more than just a simple, or I don't want to say simple, but a contract award. It's something that means more. I have a genuine personal interest in seeing that Pico Rivera continues to beautify the community, to have their parks, their streets, the community continue to thrive, primarily with trees and landscape. And so I wanted to continue to be as nice as it was when I was growing up. I also want to take this opportunity to introduce you to the crew that actually works for the city of Pico Rivera, and a couple of them are actually city of Pico Rivera residents, and they also take great pride in making sure that the community that they call home is taken care of as well. I'd like to thank the city staff for, once again, recommending our firm for this contract this evening. We take great pride in knowing that there's a lot of confidence bestowed on us for our responsiveness, our workmanship, and the corporate partner that we are. Again, so I thank you for this opportunity this evening. If there's any questions, I'm here to answer those. And again, thank you for the opportunity this evening.
Thank you, Victor. And I met you in the community before, Victor, in chamber events, and I just, and I was like, but thank you. Lauren Talbot.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Lauren Talbot, and I'm the Community Library Manager at the Pico Rivera Library and the Rivera Library. Here are the updates for August. The Rivera Library continues to be temporarily closed for construction, but the Pico Rivera Library is still open on Mondays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We will resume our normal business hours once construction at the Rivera Library is complete, and we are hoping for an August reopening date. Families who participated in our Summer Discovery Program are invited to our sweet celebration at the Pico Rivera Library on Tuesday, August 4th at 2 p.m. We'll have trivia, bingo, and art activities for all ages. Enjoy a sweet treat and celebrate your summer accomplishments. On Wednesday, August 5th at 4 p.m. at the Pico Rivera Library, teens are invited to our oceanography program, where they will learn about the exciting field of oceanography and then make an aquarium in a jar. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And I also want to do a special thank you, Lauren, for, I know we have our summer concerts coming up, and we have construction with the pool going on right now, which they're moving quite fast. And we needed to use the space for the summer concert. So thank you to the county of Los Angeles for allowing us to work in that space. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, that concludes our public comments. We are going into now consent calendar, with exception to items 11 or 12 that were pulled earlier. With
I'd like to pull items number 6 and 9 for discussion, please.
number 6 and 9, okay? So we're pulling items 6, 9, 11, and 12. With the remaining left over, I'd like to entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
There's a first and a second. Any opposed? None, so moved. So now we're going to go to item number 6. Invitation for the city of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, sister city.
Yes, it was my knowledge there was a last-minute meeting last week for the Sister City Commission, and unfortunately, my commissioner wasn't able to attend, so I wasn't briefed on this, and I just wanted some background information of what's our future plan and purpose, and any information you'd like to share with myself, the public, regarding our potential sister city.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that presentation as no different than the previous sister cities before, such as Tlajumulco, which you were mayor and you were able to approve. No different than Chapala that Councilmember Lara was able to approve. You had sent an invitation for us to become sister city some time ago. The city of Puerto Vallarta had approved on their side with their council. We were in the process of working that out this year. We had not gone to it this year because of one of the other more pressing, more important work with the city. And then I had a conversation with the mayor last week where he proposed that if he can come and do some visiting and if we can make this agreement on our behalf. And so based on the fact that he proposed a date to come on August 7th for us to do that, I moved forward to put it on the agenda for our support and recommendation. I felt that it was a good city for us to be a sister city with. There's a lot of relevance between them, just like Tlajumulco and just like Chapala and just like San Luis Potosi, which unfortunately some of us can't go there. I know there's a delegation going this weekend. Based on that, this is why it was in the agenda.
Thank you. I just would like to recommend to encourage inclusivity of all of our commissioners as well as council members. So extend the invitation to even if the purpose is tourism or cultural exchange, let's be inclusive and include others in those decisions. So that way we are just in the open.
As it should.
Thank you.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
I'll move.
You got a first
I give a second.
and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Council members Garcia,
Yes.
Lara,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
uh, Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mayor Camacho.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you, and thank you to the commission. And again, there's a purpose of Sister City Commission that we created some time ago, and I give credit to David Angelo because David Angelo, who was a previous commissioner, he was here before, but I got to give him credit because he's the one that was the instrument. I know we have our Sister City Commissioner here, Mr. Perez. You serve on the are you still on the International Sister City Commission?
No, I was president of U.S.-Mexico relations.
U.S.-Mexico relations. So I know you're highly involved. I know there's a purpose, Sister City. Again, thank you for making yourselves available to move on this item. This is, usually we take a little more time, but based on the request from the city of Puerto Vallarta, it came in this fashion. And so I appreciate you and your leadership and the entire Sister Commission. For those who could not be there, we'll work on that. But again, appreciate the work that you've done. Are you going to the San Luis Potosi delegation? Very well.
I will be leaving tomorrow morning.
Mhm.
More importantly,
Microphone.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
In here, yeah.
we appreciate the fact that what I try to explain to my commissioners is that they have to introduce the community to Sister City programs. I've been involved for 25 years.
You
with
have.
this. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to Sister Cities International Conference, which was last week due to being sick, so I had to cancel everything. When this opportunity came up for the city of Pico Rivera, I think it's very important because a lot of individuals don't understand there's not just about a visitation, it's much more than that. It's about student exchange. It's about creating programs for both cities, both culturally, economically, and to understand that, it's about friendship and it's about being together. From my experience, I understand what you're saying. And this is very frustrating for me too, is in Mexico, everything is last minute. So I understand when I did get the call, and when we were discussing this as a commission, the importance of Mexico understanding that we need more time. Unfortunately, they don't quite understand that in order to invite all of you, you need the time because your schedules are, filled probably before you get the invitation. And that was one of the requests that we spoke about in regards to we need more time. If there's a visitation so that you're all invited, you all can be a part of it, but from my experience, and I understand, it's always a last minute. I just got a letter or an email a couple of days ago from Chapala. I was expecting it, but I'm always asking, please give us a little more time.
Yeah.
But I certainly understand the urgency of it. And I've been to Puerto Vallarta. Santa Barbara is their sister city, as well as Mission, not Mission, Gavle, Texas. And I've been to both.
You're well.
I appreciate the fact that I can do this for the city of Riverside.
And again, thank you, Bob, because again, through you, through Bob, to David, I mean, I've become a very supportive of sister city commissions and sister cities in general, and I have basically put a lot of effort into that, and so and as you, that's the reason we have a sister city commission as far as committees, because you got to put in the effort. You got to put in the effort. Because it's what I always say. It's not about the signing; it's about the effort and ceremonial stuff and signing, and then you forget about it. And there's a picture and everything, but you got to ask self, right? What are you doing? What are you doing to build that relationship? And it goes for all of us, quite frankly. And so San Luis Potosí, we received an invitation. I mean, I got a verbal invitation, and then I got the invitation from the mayor like 2 weeks ago. I just can't, it's difficult. But nonetheless, this is why we're doing it, because we're going to build a relationship, we're going to build the committees, we're going to build the relevance. This has to be beneficial for both communities. So thank you, Bob, for that. Council member.
Just one question, and my apologies for asking this from the dais, but um, are aside from you, Mr. Perez, any other representatives going from the city of Pico Rivera?
Yes, Fernando Centeno will be attending, Anna
Okay.
will be attending.
And then are we taking a resolution from the city commemorating the anniversary?
I think when the request was asked, I think there was a confusion in regards to a plaque and a proclamation.
Okay.
So the city is providing a proclamation, which
Okay.
is great.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I just want to make sure that we're not showing up empty-handed, whatnot.
I was aware that we are, but I want to ask you, because I would rather send it framed. Will you guys be able to manage to take a framed proclamation, or is it a folder suffice? Because I know it's going to be some travel things.
Yeah, whatever is convenient for the city.
No, because we're not traveling with it, so.
You're gonna have to carry it.
So you got to carry it.
You were
You got to put it
Fernando.
through the X-ray machine.
We'll
Bob.
give you
Let us
a
know.
frame one, so.
I also appreciate the fact that the city was able to provide a little gift for them.
Yeah.
Of course, I already put in all my language, so.
And I know I've talked to staff, but if not sure what exactly we're giving you, but if we can put a few goodies bags together for them, and again, when you do see President, please send our regards, all five of us here, that we could not make it. We would love to be there, but it's just we weren't able to schedule ourselves for that. So, well, thank you for that. Okay, so and I went off protocol of questions, but you're Sister Commissioner, you're here. This is relevant, so I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And with that, then we're going to go ahead and go to item number 9, which is tree maintenance service and with West Coast Arborist.
Yes, this, I have some issues with this item. This is the third time coming to our agenda. Just, I wanted to voice my concerns in that number one, we have never rescinded a directive that the council has requested of staff. So the item first is that we are going to rescind the June 9th majority vote already in order to, in favor of a piggyback contract. So that's the number one concern, that there was already a vote. The item was June 9th. This item was already passed. However, this is the third time that it's come back on the agenda. So then my second concern is I guess my question is, maybe for Noah perhaps, how do we know that we are getting the best value from this contract?
So last meeting, we had a presentation on our piggyback process. And we're getting the best value because we're getting a price from last year. It was competitively bid by 8 other proposers. And comparing our price that we bid this 5 years ago, and we're only getting a 1% increase from 5 years ago. And we're also locking in the price for the next 3 years that will only be 1% greater than what we bid 5 years ago. We have no other contract where we have that. Most of our contracts If you go by CPI, anywhere between 1% to 3% increase, if not higher. And therefore, we see this as a great value. Not only that are we getting the price locked in, but we're also getting a GPS tree inventory that we haven't done in several years that would normally cost us just over $90,000, done at no cost to us.
How many trees do we have in Pico Rivera, that West Coast Arborist Maintenance?
Approximately 11,600 trees.
Does this include the golf course as well? Or is that a separate contract?
I believe that's separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many trees does Rosemead have, the city of Rosemead?
I don't have that offhand,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure if about 10,000. So per West Coast, they have about 10,000.
So a little less than Pico Rivera? Well, just my main concern is that, budgets are tight, and I'm held accountable to the residents, and these are our tax dollars. So I just have a concern that perhaps this is setting a precedent of awarding large no-bid contracts. And perhaps it's best to get an RFP because that's a fair and transparent process. And you did give a presentation to show our fair bidding process. So with that, I would like to encourage and motion to maintain our original June 9th directive, which was not a motion, but an actual vote that the majority already voted on June 9th, and then authorize the city manager to continue a month-to-month contract as the RFP is being implemented.
Hearing no second, the motion dies. Mr. City Manager, I'd like to ask you, I know there was, just for the audience and for the viewers, we've gone through this process from having an agenda item, having a motion, having a presentation, and coming back. Can you explain the timeline to us and how that played out to get us to here?
Certainly, Mayor. Originally, when the item came before council, it was given direction to staff to do an RFP. Subsequent to that, there was a question on the process, which we ultimately gave at the last council meeting, a presentation on the process. At that point, it was given direction to us to come back with a couple items, one, to rescind the previous action, and second, to award the contract. So I think that was a total of 3 meetings on this item.
And Mr. City Attorney, that was a proper protocol to follow.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Director Negrete, so you explained it and you've said it from your, lifetime experience. Is this, is this a fair? Is this a transparent? And is this a good contract for the city of Pico Rivera?
Yeah, so just to reiterate and summarize what we talked about the last meeting in this process, there is a legality of this. We have a procurement policy that allows for piggybacking. Our code allows for this, so it does pass that we're doing something that is legal. The cost stability, again, just to clarify, it was a bid contract. We got 8 bidders. We just piggybacked off of somebody else. It wasn't like we're giving somebody a sole source. And again, if we bid this today, we're going to get a higher price. I can guarantee you that. We're not going to get a 1% increase. Prices have gone up. Again, the tree assessment is another advantage of just under 100 grand. So all these are legal. It was a process that was vetted and went through per our own procurement policy.
Great, thank you. With that, then, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve staff's recommendation.
I'll move.
I'd just like to make a brief comment before I vote on that. I am sensitive to Mayor Pro Tem's comment in regards to creating a fair environment for bidding and contracting. I don't second her motion at this time because I think that this contract's before us, and I think for me, at least personally, it's evident that this is going to save us money and that this is a good contractor and that they've done good work. So I don't want to impede that. However, and I'll probably bring this back to my good of the order, I think we need to look at the piggybacking process. I'm not sure if this is what's best for competition, what's best for pricing, but I just want to make that comment. because I am sensitive to her approach as being fiscal gatekeepers for this community. So with that, I will second this item.
There's a first and second. And just to echo those comments, I do agree with the Mayor Pro Tem with the process and always being transparent. I think we've all, and myself for sure, have always make sure that we have a fair, we have a process that we utilize. And as our Public Works Director presented the last time, there's options that are given to us. And based on what is going on in our city with their service, with their cost and time. We have a lot of projects on hand, and I think that it's important that we look at all that. And I think that that's why I feel comfortable. If I didn't feel comfortable that this was fair and that this was just, and or there was a performance issues and West Coast Harbors was not providing the service to us or too expensive, I would be the first to say no. However, I did my due diligence, and I think this piggyback or recommendation that staff came up with, I read it, I studied it, I looked at it, and I have to admit that in this case it was relevant. So with that, there is a first and a second roll call vote, City Clerk.
Council members Garcia,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez,
No.
Mayor Camacho.
Yes,
Motion passes 4-1.
thank you. Item number 11. City Manager, item number 11, I do have two public comments for item 11. Ms. City Attorney?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Well, let me frame the issue and then maybe the public comments they may.
And just for the record, we don't do public comments during agenda items, but we're making an exception here based on the relevance of this
Since
item.
we have, yes. So on item 11, there are certain recommendations in your staff report and on the agenda, which include items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Earlier today, Sequel Contractors has submitted a letter or correspondence to the city indicating their wish to withdraw their proposal dated June 5, 2026. As a result of that, we'll put that into the record for the city clerk. As a result of that, the recommendation will be modified for the city council's consideration, and that would include removing and striking the recommendation item number 2 and removing and striking the recommendation number 3, since that related to Sequel Contractors, Inc. And the council will not be taking any action with respect to Sequel Contractors, Inc. and any determination regarding that company and their bid. So what is before the city council would be the recommendation is set forth in item 1, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 4, 5, and 6. Items 2 and 3 would be stricken from the report and not be entered into the record. In fact, when the final minutes are reflected, then that will not be part of the recommendation. With that, I'm not sure if the two speakers are from Sequel, and if they still wish to address the city council, they're welcome to do so.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, city council members, and staff.
Are you Daniel or Craig?
My name is Craig Gunther. I'm counsel for Sequel Contractors. We agree, adopt, and accept the recommendations made by the city attorney and withdraw the request for any public hearing or response further. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, with that, item number 11, which is citywide resurfacing and reconstruction project, I'd like to entertain a motion.
Proper motion would be to approve item 11 as amended and striking items 2 and 3. So if there's a motion to reflect that, then.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to reflect that. We're striking items 2 and 3, and we're moving forward with item 4. Right.
1, 4, 5, and 6.
1, 4, 5, and 6. Thank you.
A second.
Yeah.
There's a first and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Council members Garcia,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dr. Sanchez,
Yes.
Mayor Camacho.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Great, thank you. Move on to item number 12, which is the Smith Park Aquatic Center renovation project, audiovisual and information technology. Oh, so we remove that and continue that item for a future council meeting date. Then that will conclude our consent calendar, which we have no regular agenda items. City manager, staff reports. No reports. We get into the good of the order. I'll go ahead and start with my left, Councilmember Rolata.
Yes, just, I have no items to report for AB 2134. I would like to bring two items forward, and the first item being in regards to sister cities. I'd like to create a very brief ad hoc in regards to, how do we work with the Sister Cities Commission and our sister cities that we have established, those that are coming in the future, to really make it work for both communities. Can we do this language revitalization, language exchange, educational exchange? Is it something where the city can work in conjunction with the school district to support a worker's visa, so that we bring maybe a Spanish teacher to the El Rancho School District to work with our students, and then it culminates into a summer trip where a few kids go down, reside in Chapala for like a week, learn Spanish. How can we make it work for our residents?
Support it.
Secondly, I'm not sure if you'll, the other item I'd like to talk about in this ad hoc is potentially a budget for the Sister Cities Commission, a very small budget, not maxing maybe 12,000. I think there are some ceremonial things that the Sister Cities Commissioners, after talking with them, they'd like to spearhead in terms of making sure that they're presenting gifts, making sure that they're presenting items that they can give as small tokens of appreciation whenever these dignitaries come, so that they can take the lead. And the other part of those monies would be a small travel stipend for our commissioners. Now, this is something we can talk in the ad hoc, and if so, we can bring forward. And I understand the part why people could be hesitant, because it could be viewed as, oh, we're funding someone's vacation, right? And as we know, as electeds, we go to conferences and people could say, hey, you're going on a vacation. No, it's really not. And the same thing with sister cities. Our commissioners go down there, they establish ties, they bring items back, and I kind of see that as we grow this sister cities, and as we enter into more partnerships, because I'm waiting for the one from China that I'm looking forward to approving. How do we make it viable? And to me, you got to provide a budget. Or this Sister Cities Commission, they need to be able to access funds to make it viable. And I think we need to kind of have those discussions. So that's one
I
item
think
I'd
those
like
are
to.
all relevant topics to discuss in the committee. I'll put that together
Okay.
and we'll go from there.
Thank you. The second item is the item regarding the piggyback. I'd like to kind of bring that back for further discussion to see if that is the right fit for our community. I truly believe in the free market. I believe that there's best pricing, but then I've been victimized to state law and lowest bidder and poor work on behalf of contractors as a result of the lowest bid. So I'd like to bring that back to a future council meeting on a discussion if that's the way we should continue to go. And if it is, then so be it. And if not, then we can go back to the way we used to do things. But just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Very well, thank you. I'll go to my right, Councilmember Lutz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No items for AB 1234, and no items to generally speak of.
Thank you for that. I'll come back to my left, Councilmember Garcia.
Go to the order. AB 1234, attended the sanitation committee meeting. Also, we had an opportunity with the city manager, Pam Ugar, and Noe Negrete to meet with Pico Boys yesterday. As you know, they're going to be compromised with the Whittier Narrows Dam project. They are trying to get into their fall ball season. We've explored opportunities with them to interleague with RBA. They're going to be doing inventory of some of their storage facilities there at the park. Also, staff has been instructed to look into utilizing Pico Park and setting up the dimensions for an 8U, 10U, and 12U division in terms of the base path, maybe purchasing a portable pitcher's mound alternative sites for the 6U T-ballers would be either Pio Pico Elementary, Rio Vista was mentioned as well in the off-season. So it basically gave the board an opportunity to go back and share with the parents, this is what we're gonna do, because right now everything was idle on standstill. So I just want to thank staff for pulling together the meeting, and I know, Mayor, you've been very adamant to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that Pico Boys is not forgotten and that we do everything to assist them to get ready for the next season. So it was a very productive meeting, not to say that.
Thank you, Councilmember. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes. For AB 1234, I was able to attend the SASFA board meeting, and that the Southeast Area Services, we oversee the food services for the seniors, including the at the food at the senior center as well as the ones that are delivered. I learned that we do have a wait list of people that wish for food delivery. So we requested the executive director to provide us a list of the wait list by city, and to see how we can tackle that wait list, because there is food insecurity right now, and cost of food and everything is up, and we would hate to see seniors go without food especially if they're homebound. So that was an item. Pico Rivera is also the city that has the most. We receive the most food of La Mirada, Whittier, unincorporated Whittier, and who are his other partners? Santa Fe Springs. So we do receive the most out of all the cities. So it's a great partnership. And then secondly, I want to report that I was able to attend the Chamber of Commerce lunch, and I swore in the new board members as well as the new president. Her name is Diana Rosas, and she's the owner of the Baskin Robbins on Whittier Boulevard. So go by there and congratulate her. They're going to have some type of free ice cream summer special. So stop by there. She is a young Latina business owner, and it's really important to support our small businesses right now. And there were a number of new members there. And shop local, shop to our chamber members, and be sure to buy Pico Rivera, dine Pico Rivera, and that's the way you can help your small businesses in our community. And Councilmember Lutz was there as well.
Yes, yes, it was a great event. One of the very last events I would imagine that we'll have at the ballroom, so to speak,
Yeah.
at the golf course. And within that aspect, I did want to share with the rest of the council and the rest of the community. Steve Carmona, city manager, and we had the opportunity today, just hours ago, to celebrate Montebello Bus Line's 95th anniversary. And it was a great opportunity to share with him the story that a couple years ago, the Montebello Bus Lines was considered removing Route 60, which is along Passons Boulevard. And that would impact our kids going to high school, getting a ride, jumping on the bus, and getting to school on time. And at that time, I was mayor, and I spoke to the mayor at that time, Montebello, and I said, can we work something out where I know it's not budget-wise something important for you, but can you just keep it in the budget? And the mayor and the rest of the council members, they decided to keep it as part of the existing bus lines in operation, and there was really not much of an interruption, so to speak, and to this day, it's still in operation. So we really do appreciate the city of Montebello and the Montebello bus lines for their 95th anniversary, and we gave them a big giant proclamation. And rightly so, on those big giant proclamation papers that we have now instituted in Pico Rivera. So with that, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, just one minute. I briefly talked to the city manager about making sure that we do a social media campaign for the installation of the HVAC at Pico and Rivera Park. My recommendation would be to go about right now to Rivera Park, and those kids are practicing basketball, and it's hot in there, and to do some footage
and
of
after.
that before and after, right? Or on a Friday night when they hold basketball games, before and after. It's such a huge project. I'm looking forward to that. But it's like a $1.2 million project. I think we need to get some reels off that. Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank you for the summer program that you do for the kids. They do such a great job. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
thank
do you
you.
want to share about our National Night Out and Summer Street Fest?
Oh,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, if you want to ask a question, go ahead.
Yeah, she has it there.
Well, National Night Out is this Friday, and so that is National Night is this Friday, and we're excited because we're giving away, and we're also doing a backpack giveaway. This is with the Sheriff's Department. They have a really nice lineup. It should be a lot of fun. We've got the Captain's Welcome, of course. We've got DJ Beat Drop. He's amazing. He'll also be at the Farmers Market tomorrow. And just a plug for the Farmers Market, tomorrow's the last one. So if you have a chance, please go. But it should be a really good time this Friday. And I'm sorry that Captain Joe's not here, but it's always a great show. I was waiting for Gabe to
Oh,
go to the next one,
yeah.
or Jonathan. Summer Street Fest, we have August 14th. We're collaborating with AHUA. And I really am grateful that I can't remember which it was, if it was the mayor that thanked the library and thanked Lauren and your supervisors over at the county, because with all the disruption at Smith Park, we really need our neighbors and our friends. And so thank you for that. So it'll be a slightly different layout this time, but still very exciting. And we've got new ideas for the beer garden because of the World Street Fest, Spirit Fest. So thank you, Director Hernandez, for that. So we're elaborating on our beer garden, which should be pretty fun. And so August 14th is more of the tribute to mariachis and Jalisco style. It should be amazing what we have there. And then August 21st, I think I mentioned last time, is going to be like retro night, and for us who graduated in the 80s. So every one of the bands that are playing are high school, El Rancho High School alumni. So it should be really a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be a huge crowd. So we encourage everybody to come out and do your wake me up before you go kind of attire for the 21st.
Thank you for that, Pam. Are you done? Okay, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Yeah, definitely. I mean, National Night Out is an important event, yearly event, and in partnership with the Sheriff Department, Pico Rivera Sheriff Department. As far as the summer concerts that's coming up, obviously we have, I would say the best summer concerts, and I'm noticing that surrounding cities are starting to copy us, which is it's okay, but it is a compliment. August 14th, we've been doing this for years, and August 14th, as you mentioned, it is a partnership with AHUA. That's the partnership right there, more of a estilo Jalisco, if you will, with the mariachi. Mariachi Los Camperos is a great mariachi, so that'd be great. And then, of course, as you mentioned, August 21st with Expose. I had a conversation with Jeanette, happens to be from Pico Rivera, and then actually Dons of Distinction are from Pico Rivera, and of course our friend Debbie Tapia and the Tapia sisters are also from Pico Rivera. So it's a highlight of Pico Rivera talent, if you will. So they're all great events, and it's going to be a pretty awesome concerts and stuff with the modifications, and we'll figure it out. You guys are pretty good at making it happen, so. Thank you, Pam. Thank you to you and your teams for bringing this forward.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to add one important item for the public to know that on our National Night Out, our State Assembly member, Lisa Calderon, is going to have a backpack giveaway. So I wanted to address that to the community, take advantage of that for all the students that want to go ahead and get a free backpack during National Night Out. Lisa Calderon's office is going to have a booth there for kids to grab a backpack for return to the school year.
Thank you for that, Councilmember. And thank you to the Assembly member for supporting that in our community. With that, I'd like to just mention that I attended the National Association of Latino Elected Officials a couple of weeks ago. I was a board member for 6 years. There's a lot of great sessions, great speakers, relevant to municipal government, well, relevant to all governments, but municipal government that we find relevance in there that I attended. In addition to that, I just wanted to highlight, I know that, we've had some speakers come in the past. It's relating to like the Walmart Plaza area with the RVs and trucks. We've also had homeless complaints as it relates to where the food for less and so forth. And I know that the sheriff department and staff is doing their best to make sure that we address those issues. I know there's been a lot of activity there. However, I'm currently putting together a meeting with not only and the one at the Food for Less area. It was actually brought up by the president, the new president of the Chamber of Commerce, and having a meeting with law enforcement, sheriff department staff, but also the property managers themselves and their security company, because I think there's a lapse in their participation that we got to address, and we got to see how we can hold them accountable, as well as the one in the Walmart area as well. So we'll be putting a meeting together for that to address those issues. Outside of that, that concludes my comments, and with that,
Mayor, I forgot to mention, I too went to the luncheon at Naleo, so for my AB 1234.
Leo. So yes, and we're both there, and a great opportunity to learn some more. With that, finish good of the order, and that we have no closed session items, so we'll adjourn this meeting. And thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate it.